Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Daria if you're new here. And today's practice is working toward King Cobra pose. So we'll be doing some front body opening as well as back body strengthening to prepare to make this back bend feel really expansive and free and open in your body rather than like crunchy or sticky or painful or tight or any of those things that we may want to avoid. So for this practice, if you have a couple of yoga blocks, go ahead and grab them. If you don't have blocks, you can grab a pillow for today's practice. We're just gonna do a little bit of heart opening using the props to begin. So whenever you're ready, let's go ahead and get into it. We'll get started from supported fish. So find your props, blocks or a pillow, whatever you have, and place them to the back of the mat. If you have blocks, I would recommend the middle setting and have them with about a foot of space in between. The lower block is going to rest under the back of the heart, and the upper block is going under the head like a pillow. If you're just using a pillow, you can put it long ways and then lie back onto it. The idea here is that we're just kind of getting the heart to lift a little bit. So bottom tips of the shoulder blades onto your first block and then head down onto the second block. You're welcome to do whatever you want with your legs and your feet. You can stretch the legs all the way straight. You can have bent knees or maybe take Baddha Konasana if you'd like to get into the hips a little. Allow your arms to open up wide to the sides and really drop, feeling the weight of the arm bones, feeling the softness of your hands and your fingers. Start to allow your eyes to fall closed if they're not already. And begin to allow your back body to melt into the surface that supports it as though you are water being absorbed into soil. Take a few moments here to connect to how you're feeling, how you're doing in your body and your mind. And start to notice the way that your breath is moving. Begin to consciously deepen and lengthen your breath, feeling the wave of your inhalation moving from your belly through your ribs and all the way to the chest, and feeling the release of the exhale from your chest through your ribs and out through your belly. Breathing in and out of your nose here, trace the breath along the back of your throat to create that ocean wave Ujjayi Pranayama sounds. Last round like this. Inhale to fill up. Exhale, soften the back of your heart into the earth. Stay as you are. Just begin to do like a snow angel situation with your arms. So as you breathe in, stretch the arms all the way back over the top of your head. As you breathe out, glide the arms down and wide to the sides and all the way around like you're going to reach towards your toes. Do this a couple times at your own pace. Your fingertips can kind of skim the ground or they can hover if they don't quite reach. And notice what you feel opening up. Feel that the breath has more room in your chest with this elevated position. Next time your arms come down beside you, place your palms beside your hips. Press into your hands, into your forearms to lift your head, and then lift your heart, coming off of the blocks. And we'll just take them, blocks or props, whatever you have, off the mat to the top. And then begin to find your way into a tabletop position, climbing up onto your hands and your knees. Press into all 10 of your fingertips and drag them back toward the center of your palms. We'll make some circles with the rib cage. Begin by softening the back of your heart toward the ground like it's melting, opening up into your ribs. Now, draw your rib cage toward the right. Really squeeze into your left side body as you do this. Then press into the ground, round your thoracic spine. So closing into the ribs, and it's like the back of your heart is floating all the way up to the sky. And now glide your rib cage toward the left, squeezing your right side body to make room for the opening. Soften down through the center. Go again in that direction and see if you can create more of like a cohesive, fluid circle this time, just going at your own pace. You can also play with how you want to breathe here. Notice where you can inhale, where you can exhale to most effectively open your body. Reverse the direction of your circles now. Feel that there's always some part, some side of your body that's expanding, and then the opposite side is contracting to create the space for that expansion. Find your way back to a neutral spine, getting centered here. Take a breath in, really soften into your belly, lift your tailbone, relax your ribcage, and then pull your heart forward by isometrically dragging your hands back towards your knees. Spin your eyes to look a little bit up as you open into your throat. Take another breath in. When you breathe out, tuck your pelvis, pressing into palms and shins. Really get hollow into your core like you're taking an ice cream scooper to it, and tuck your chin towards your chest, allowing your head to fall. Next breath in, arch again, lifting the tailbone, articulate through the spine, low back, then the middle back, then the upper back, and then even the back of the neck engages. When you exhale, press down, hollowing, low belly, close your ribs, hug up with your heart toward the sky, and root your chin toward your chest. 2 more at your own pace. Inhaling to find cow. Exhaling to find cat. Get steady in tabletop again, and then walk all the way out into Anahatasana, puppy. Lifting your hips to the sky, softening either forehead or chest and chin to the earth. Magnetize slightly your thumbs and your index fingers toward the opposite hand, toward those fingers on the opposite hand. See if you can let this release be easy rather than forceful. Feeling the expansion in the chest and the heart, the softness in your hips. Breathe in and breathe out. Press into your palms, float your heart, and just walk your hands back in underneath of your shoulders. With your next inhale breath, lift your tail, draw your heart forward, turn your eyes to look up. As you exhale, send your hips back, keep reaching your heart forward, and really dig into your finger pads, energizing your arms. Breathe in to round your spine, tuck your pelvis underneath of you, let your chin fall towards your chest as you come forward through hands and knees. When you exhale, little bend in your elbows, start to soften the tops of your thighs, and then your pelvis, your belly, your chest, and your chin, all the way to the earth. Now, press your toenails down, all 10 of them, even the pinky toenails. Engage your quads, and then sink your hips heavy, like you're trying to really imprint the hip bones into the ground. With your next inhale breath, begin to float your heart and your hands away from the mats. Try to feel for elongation here. So it's not about how high you lift, more about how much you can extend through your spine, as though the back of your heart is reaching forward. Take 1 more breath in here. When you exhale, release all the way down, palms beside your ribs. Now inhale, press into your 2 hands and the tops of your 2 feet to lift all the way up into a higher cobra here. If it's crunchy in your low back, walk your hands a little more forward. Micro bend your elbows, really engage the inner lines of your legs, lift your pelvic floor, and then feel the swell of your heart forward and up. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Take 1 more breath in here. As you breathe out, hug your belly button to your spine. Drag your pelvis back in space. Bring your big toes to touch. Separate your knees about hips distance apart. And then sink your hips all the way back to your heels and crawl your fingertips forward to come into child's pose. Rest either forehead or chest and chin to the earth. Take a breath into your belly. And a breath out. Press into your palms. Make your way forward into hands and knees position again, and bring your shins parallel behind you. Inhale, arch. Tailbone tilts up. Heart looks forward. Eyes look up. Exhale, lean your hips back. Keep reaching your heart forward. Active child's pose. Breathe in, round. Coming forward into cat on hands and knees. As you exhale, slowly lower all the way down onto your belly, but do this mindfully, consciously. Press into the tops of your feet. Charge your thighs. Sink your hips heavy. Breathe in. Begin to float your heart and float your hands a little away from the earth. Stay for your exhale breath and really feel what's working, what's getting stronger in the back of your body. Next inhale breath, spread your toes, see if you can lift your legs and lift your thighs. Stay as you breathe out. One more inhalation, lift everything. Exhale, release all the way down. Palms by your ribs. Inhale, press into 2 hands and 2 feet to slowly rise all the way up into high cobra. Roll your shoulders down your back, away from your ears. Lift through your lower belly like it's being drawn up towards your sternum. And then imagine there's a hook on the back of your rib cage that someone's dragging gently forward. Take another breath in. Breathe out, this time lower onto your belly once again, onto the chest. Step your fingertips out to the wide edges of your mat and have your elbows pointing up toward the sky. Engage through your legs again and press into your toenails. When you breathe in, rise all the way up into Fingerstand Cobra, lifting through the heart. Imagine that it's floating. When you exhale, wrap your biceps forward. Wrap your triceps back. Then take your inhale breath to dig into your fingertips, dig into your toenails, and pull those points toward one another, feeling the middle part of your back curling here. Stay as you exhale. One more inhale, elongate your tailbone toward the backs of your knees. As you exhale, slowly lower down, but try to land your heart a little more forward than where it started. We're gonna roll through this now a couple more times. Inhale, root into your feet and your fingers. Press down and rise all the way up into Cobra. As you exhale, slowly release back down. One more, breathe in. Breathe out. Palms beside your ribs. Press through tabletop and go back into child's pose. Toes touch, knees wide. Hips to your heels, fingertips forward. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Press down and come forward into tabletop position. Shins parallel. Tuck your toes behind you. Take a breath in. When you breathe out, lift your knees and send your hips to the sky, finding downward facing dog. If you want, in this first down dog, you could separate your feet a little wider than your hips and maybe bend your knees a little bit deeper to really prioritize the lengthening of your spine. Drive into the space between your thumbs and your index fingers, rooting the hands down and forward. And then tilt your sitting bones to the sky. Close your lowest set of ribs and really reach your heart back in the direction of your thighs. Inhale here. Exhale here. Next inhalation. Lift your heels, round your spine, come forward into high plank. As you exhale, softly lower your knees to the mat. Breathe in, arch, tailbone lifts, heart forward, eyes up. Breathe out, hips back, keep reaching your heart forward, active child's pose. Inhale, round, coming forward through the hands and the knees. When you exhale, microbend your elbows, sink your pelvis toward the earth, and as you do, kick your heels in toward your sit bones. Lift through your low belly, touch your big toes together, and use that to kind of engage your inner thighs. Just take another breath in here. When you breathe out, glide your shins toward the right. Stack left knee on top of right one. Hips away from the ground as you press into your right fingertips. Breathe in, cactus your left elbow all the way up to the sky. Breathe out and circle left fingertips forward over your ear. Stay for another inhale. As you exhale, roll through the center. Sink your hips a little to place your left palm to the top. Pivot, the heels in, breathing in, bent knee cobra. Breathing out, roll your shins to the left, right knee on top of left one. Inhale, cactus, right elbow up to the sky. Exhale, really squeeze the left side of your body. Press your hips higher and circle right arm forward over your ear. Breathe in. As you breathe out, start to pivot to face the top of your mat once again. Place your right hand down. Swivel your heels in. Take a breath in. Engage your low belly. Drag the heels of your hands isometrically back in space as you curl through your heart. As you breathe out, coming through tabletop, tuck your toes, lift your knees, send your hips to the sky, downward facing dog. With your next breath in, stretch your right leg high, three-legged down dog. As you breathe out, lift your left heel, hug your right knee forward and softly step right foot to right thumb as you touch your back knee down. Breathe in to float your fingertips to the sky, kneeling warrior. Breathe out, palms touch, bend your elbows and bring the heels of your hands to the back of your heads. Inhale, cinch in through your waist, lift through your heart, and then lean back into the support of your hands. Take another breath in. Breathing out, circle your palms to the mat, lift your back knee, press down, get rounded, pick up front foot and step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg rises, three-legged down dog. Exhale, right heel lifts, round and step, left foot to left thumb, back knee meets the earth. Breathe in, fingertips high. Breathe out, palms touch, hands to the back of your head. Press your thumbs into the space where head and neck connect. Inhale to grow up really tall through your spine. Exhale, relax your jaw, soften through your hips, lean forward with the pelvis and up with your heart. Good. Release, palms to the mat. Breathe in, lift your back knee, slide your hips back in space. Breathe out, press down, get rounded. Pick up left foot and step to down dog. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in, lift your heels, round your spine, come forward, high plank. As you breathe out, slowly lower your knees to the mat. Inhale, arch, tilting up through the sitting bones, look forward with your heart, turn up with your eyes. Exhale, hips back, heart forward, active child's pose. Breathe in, round, come forward through hands and knees. Breathe out, sink your hips, kick your heels in towards your sit bones, energize up through your core and lift through your heart. When you exhale, roll to your right shin, stack your left knee on top. Breathe in, hips away from the ground, cactus up through your left elbow. This time as you breathe out, hover your left inner thigh parallel to the ground, then reach around and back and catch for the left foot and the left hand. Inhale, squeeze your shoulder blades together, stretch your heart forward. Exhale, kick energetically back with your left shin. Take one more breath in, focusing on the expansion in your front body. As you breathe out, release, left knee on top of right one, left hand to the mat, pivot through the center. Taking your inhale breath, energize your hamstrings to draw the heels in close, lift the heart. Exhale, pivot the shins to the left. Breathe in, cactus up through your right elbow. Breathe out, hover, right shin parallel to the ground. Reach around and back and catch for your foot in the air. Flex your toes into your hand. Then breathe in to lengthen your heart forward. Breathe out to kick, right shin straight back behind you. Take another breath in. And breathing out, release the grip. Right knee on top of the left one, roll through the center. Take your inhale breath here, opening up into bent knee cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift your knees, send your hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg rises, three-legged down dog. Exhale, right foot steps to the top of your mat. Keep your back knee off the ground this time. When you inhale, root your feet and rise into a high crescent lunge. Exhale, palms together, taking the heels of the hands to the base of your skull. Breathe in, inflate through everything, reach your heart forward and tilt it up. Breathe out, palms to the mat, pressing down, round your spine. Pick up right foot, step to down dog. Inhale, left leg floats, three-legged down dog. Exhale, softly transition, left foot forward, left thumb. Dig your big toes down. Breathe in, root to the earth and rise, high lunge. Breathe out, palms touch, hands to the back of your head. Inhale, leaning back, lifting up. Exhale, palms to the earth, press down, round, pick up left foot and step, downward facing dog. Inhale here. Stay for your exhale breath. One more inhale. One more exhale. Breathe in.
Lift your heels, pull up through your thighs, round your spine, and come forward, high plank. As you exhale, bend your elbows, lower halfway, chaturanga. Then sink your pelvis, untuck your toes, and lower all the way down onto your belly. Place your fingertips forward and just a little wide on your mat, spiking the elbows up to the sky. Root your feet. Inhale, press down, peel the front side of your torso up and away from the ground. As you exhale, roll your shoulders down, biceps forward, triceps back. Now, you could stay here or begin to kick your right heel in toward your sit bone. And just staying right here, spread your right toes and slightly tip your heart up higher as you drag isometrically back on your fingers. One more breath in. Breathing out, release the right foot down. And then inhale, kick your left heel in, really getting energized into your hamstrings to create that curl. And then draw your heart forward. Just finding expansion. Lift your low belly. Take a breath in. Breathe out, release your left foot, and slowly lower all the way down onto your chest. Interlace your fingers at the base of your spine here. When you breathe in, root your feet, float your heart, and stretch your fists back behind you. When you breathe out, float your feet, float your thighs. Squeeze toward the midline, hugging inner thighs, hugging upper arms back. Take another breath in. Breathe out, release. Stack your palms. Place your forehead down onto them, and then kick your heels in toward your sit bones, and windshield wiper your feet from side to side, going right and then left, a couple times each way. All right, release your feet down. Walk your hands back in space. Have your fingertips aligned kind of with your rib cage, or maybe slightly more forward if it's crunchy on your low back. You can always walk the hands more forward to lessen the intensity. Okay, we're gonna play with coming up into our full King Cobra position now. So inhale, press into your feet. Imagine your legs like a mermaid's tail, gripping into the earth, and slowly rise your chest away from the ground. Start by dragging your fingertips back, soften your shoulders away from your ears. And then begin to lift your low belly as you kick your heels in toward your sit bones. Play with touching your big toes together and then lean your head back, maybe finding a connection between the toes and the back of the head. Breathing into the front body, opening up all your ab muscles. Take a breath in. Breathe out, release your feet, and then slowly lower all the way back down onto the belly. Place your right ear to the mat. Bring your hands alongside of your body with your palms facing the sky. Turn your toes slightly in and drop, just chilling in this belly down shavasana. Notice where your breath is moving. See if you can imagine it going like laterally into your lower back, like two hands kind of pressing or massaging that space. Begin to turn your chin forward once again. Fingertips come beside the ribs. You can walk them even maybe slightly back this time if you want to go a little deeper into the pose. Elbows spiked up. With your next inhale breath, root into your fingertips. Begin to peel your chest away from the ground. Lift your low belly. Keep that engagement as you start to tilt your heart forward. Kick your heels in, and then maybe lean back with your head. Feel the middle part of your back curling. So it's like the base of your ribcage forward. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Take another breath in. Breathing out, release the feet and slowly lower all the way back down onto your chest. Left cheek to the mat, palms alongside of you, facing up to the sky. Drop in. Smooth breath. Turn your chin forward. Press your palms down beside your ribs. Come up into tabletop and then go back into child's pose. You can choose. Knees can be wide or together, whatever feels good in your body. And just relax here. Every time you breathe in, feel the belly fill with that breath. Every time you breathe out, use this as an opportunity to let go of something you don't need. This could be something physically in your body, like some kind of tension. Maybe there's something in your life that you want to release or clear. Maybe it's a thought that's stuck. Whatever it is, just let your breath do the work for you of rinsing things away. Press down, lift your head. You can crawl forward to the top of your mat and come down to a seated position. Swinging the legs forward, catch onto the fronts of your shins, and then when you breathe in, stick your butt back, open up your knees wide, lift your heart and lift your gaze up. When you breathe out, round and curl. Draw your belly button back toward your spine, pull back on your shins, close your ribs, and tuck your chin to your chest. Again, breathe in, open up into this seated cow. Breathe out, seated cat pose. One more. Inhale. Exhale. This time from the rounded position, release your shins. Keep engagement through your core and roll all the way down onto your back. And then begin to, as your head lands, float your feet up to the sky, finding a grip for happy baby, either shins or ankles or outer feet. Draw your knees down and wide and press your low back into the earth. Feel free to wiggle around here. You could play with how bent your knees are. And then when you're ready, hug your body into a tight squeeze. Curl your chin up towards your chest, wrap your forearms around your shins, and get as compressed as possible. Take a breath in. And when you breathe out, open up into Shavasana. Arms and legs wide, landing the back of your head down. Soften or close your eyes. And then just like we did in supported fish at the beginning of practice, imagine here that you are water that is being absorbed into soil beneath you. Softening any last bits of tension. Getting so comfortable to allow for a full surrender. Resting here for the next couple of minutes. Slowly start to come back to life by taking some really deep, full breaths and starting to bring movement back into your body in a gentle, easy way. On an inhale breath, reach your arms back over the top of your head, stretch your legs forward. On an exhale breath, roll to your side for fetal pose, knees tucked in, head resting down. And press into the earth and rise to a tall seated position, keeping your eyes closed or just soft. Anchoring your sitting bones, lift your spine. Really breathe into the central column of your spine for a few rounds here, feeling the lift that comes with the inhale. And feel something softening with your exhale. Stay inside your experience just for another moment or two. And draw your palms to prayer at heart center. And see if you can keep whatever good energy you generated in this practice with you as you move forward into the rest of your day. Take a deep breath in and sigh it out. Lift your hearts and bow chin to chest. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. I hope that you enjoyed this backbending class. If you have any questions, comments, thoughts, leave them for me down below. I love to hear from you. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, you can do that below as well. You can also join as a monthly donation member. This really helps to support me and my channel. Have a great rest of your day or night, and I will see you soon in the next practice. Bye.